Okay, so we've been discussing in class about estimated energy requirements and the acceptable macronutrient distribution ranges. So what we've been talking about is we know what the total calories are for an individual. Once we've figured that out, how do we look at the macronutrients, the acceptable macronutrient distribution ranges? So what you need for this assignment is to make sure that you have your calculator with you, and we're going to be going over some calculations. Now I have a question for you first. Who remembers what the acceptable macronutrient distribution ranges are for our three macronutrients: carbohydrate, protein, and fat? So take a minute to think about those, and while you're thinking about those, then what we're going to do is look at our first one. So we're going to be calculating the AMDR, which is the acceptable macronutrient distribution ranges for carbohydrate. And if you remember, carbohydrate stands for CHO. So what is the acceptable macronutrient distribution range for carbohydrate? Take a minute to think about it. Okay, if you said 45 to 65%, you were correct. So our acceptable macronutrient distribution range is 45 to 65% of your total calorie needs. So what does that mean to the average consumer? They don't always know what that means, so we're going to help them break that down. We're going to look at these ranges once we know their estimated energy requirements. So for a college student who is mildly active, we're going to estimate that their energy needs is about 2,500 calories, or excuse me, 2,150 kcals. So if this person needs 2,150 calories, how are we going to figure out what 45 to 65% of that is, and how are we going to tell the consumer in grams? So the first thing that we need to do is break these down and look at them in the range. So we're going to take the 2,150 kcals, and what do you think we're going to do that we've been talking about? We're going to multiply it by what? 45 to 65%. So how do you express 45% in a math equation? So we're going to do 0.45. So now you need to get your calculators out, and what we're going to do is take 2,150 kcals and multiply it by the 0.45. So when you do that, what do you get? Go ahead and enter that into your calculator now. So if you were doing that, what you would have seen is that you get 968 kcals when you multiply 0.45 by 2,150. So that is going to give us part of our range, but now of course we have to do it for the 65%. So let's go 2,150 kcals times, what do we do it by? 0.65. So get your calculators back out for this one, and let's put this one in, 2,150 times 0.65, and you should come up with something along these lines. So what this means is this person who needs 2,150 calories has an estimated range of 968 calories to 1,398 calories that should come from carbohydrate. The problem is that when we tell people those numbers, that doesn't make a lot of sense to them, right? We've spoken about that. So one of the things that we want to do is actually put this in grams, because when they read a nutrition facts label, they read in grams. So we've been talking about in class, and I've been asking you over and over again, how many calories are there in 1 gram of carbohydrate? So think about it. What did we decide? There's 3 macronutrients. Carbohydrate has 4. So in this case, what we're going to do now is take your 968 kcals, and what do we need to divide it by? We need to divide it by 4 kcals per gram. So when you take 468 kcals, the calories cancel out, and we're going to be left in grams. So 968 calories divided by 4 is going to give you what on your calculator? Okay, so if you came up with 242 grams of carbohydrate, you are correct. Now, we have our first range here. Let's do it now at 65%. So we're going to take the 1,398 kcals, and we're going to divide again by 4 kcals per gram. And what is that going to give us here? Do your math on this one, and you should get 349. So I would round that up to 350. So we're going to say that this person on a 2,150 calorie diet needs anywhere from 242 to 350 grams of carbohydrate. So this would be the number that people would relate to because now they can read it on their nutrition facts label. So we've recapped the acceptable macronutrient distribution range for 45 to 65% for our carbohydrates on a 2,100 calorie diet would yield 242 to 350 grams of carbohydrate. I hope you got that correct. Good job.